Hello. Okay, so it's going to take me just a minute to get set up because I need to put in my, I need to put in my little whatchamajigger, my description. I can't even remember what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of dump that right there for a second so that I can edit my stuff and put my information back in here so that you guys have the links that you need. Hang tight. Hey, Tracy. Give me 1 second while I do that. Unfortunately, it doesn't carry over descriptions, even though I'm going live again right after the last one. So I am just grabbing all of my content from my last video so that I can pop it right into this one, and then we will be good to go. And for some reason, I don't know what the deal is, but it is not saving my thumbnail, which is bizarre. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but for some reason, it's not saving my cute little thumbnails anymore. I don't know why we're having a hard time. Okay, hey Trudy, hey Stacy, hey Belinda, hey Jennifer, thanks for hanging out, you guys. Okay, so in our last video, we filled my water brush with the mister, and we didn't spill a drop, so that was exciting. Hey Dee, hey Eva Lise, hey Lisa. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we stamped our image, which was the Simon Says stamp. Yes, I did hear that. Maybe I should try it because it could be that I'm having issues because of that. I'm not really sure. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my lightest two colors. Oops, I already pulled them out over here. Hey, Tiffany, lightest two colors. So I guess I'll start with this purple. I've got my marker. This is a Tombow dual brush pen. I'm just going to scribble it right onto my craft mat. And then I'm going to use my mister, just clean water, and I'm going to just spritz it with the water. So I'm going to take my water brush, and then I'm going to use it, and this is not watercolor paper. If you guys are going to do this, I would recommend using some sort of watercolor paper, or the aqua pigment paper would be great, just because it will work better than this. Mine is going to warp, so just know that in advance. So all I'm doing though is I am just going to be putting in color inside of these areas here. So I'm just going around, and I'm not being super precise. You can see I'm just sort of like, I don't know, blobbing it on there. That's not really a good term, I guess, but I'm just sort of swirling the color on. I'm not caring too much about where I'm at as far as my lines go, because when we heat embossed it, it actually made it so that it keeps the color in, which is really super cool. Okay, so I did one flower over here, and I'm going to be kind of alternating my flowers a little bit. So I will be, not all of them are going to be purple. I'm going to do some purple and some pink. But yeah, you can see that having the color there just has, oh, that's okay, Tracy. I'm happy to have you here anyway. Having the color right, or the embossing powder melted, it keeps the color in instead of letting it seep all over the paper, if that makes sense. So you don't have all the issues with everything kind of going everywhere. It actually makes it a lot easier for you to watercolor if you're not really experienced with watercoloring. So if you are interested in giving it a try, I would definitely recommend it, because this is kind of a good way to get started with watercoloring. I am certainly no expert. Now I'm moving on to my pink. I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm just going to spritz it with water. And what I want is a very, very light coating of this color. I don't want this color to be very bright. I want it to just be a muted, soft look. And I will add my colors and texture after the fact. So that's pretty cool. I think the hardest thing at this point is just seeing where, because the lines are a little hard to see since they're just, it's white on white. I think that's the hardest part of all of this. All right. So, like I said, it's very inexact. You just kind of plop the color on there and let it do its thing. And it is really actually pretty cool because it gives you these really pretty white lines, which you normally wouldn't have been able to get. I'm trying to decide if this is flower or if this is, I think it's flower. Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's supposed to be flower or leaf. Oh well, I'm just going to put it right here and hope that that was supposed to be the flower. I'm creating my own ending. Okay, so I think that's it for the light colors. Oh, except probably right here. It's kind of open. That's good. All right, let's look. Okay. All right. Tiffany, it is Simon Says Stamp, and it's called Beautiful, no, yes, it's called Beautiful Flowers. It is a very large stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, and it looks like this. Let me turn this over so you, oh, you can't really see it because there's no white thing in there. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Hopefully the glare is not too bad. But this is the stamp. It's a 6x8 stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. It is one of my favorite florals. It is huge and it is beautiful. I love it. It's a gorgeous stamp set. Okay, so that's that. So see how very, very, very light this is. It's super duper light. I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh, well, you should definitely pull it out. You can craft with me. You can do the things I'm doing. Okay, so we've got our really, really super light coloring on there. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to take a slightly lighter or a slightly darker color. So I've got my pink, right? And I'm actually going to color right on top. And I'm just going to do very light, like flicking motions. I don't want to get a ton of color. I want it to be light. I want it to be not a full coverage anywhere. I want to add some of the color where it is for shadows. And actually, you know what? What I wanted to do, this is actually too dark for what I intended just then. It should have been this color first. I wasn't even thinking about that. This is the same color that I scribbled on the mat, but I should have done this one first, so that's totally my fault. Because when you water it down, the color is less intense, and it's more muted and soft. But when you use the actual marker itself, it does give you a more vibrant color. So you can kind of get some different results just depending on what you are trying to use it for. So I am just adding just a little bit of shading here and there, just to kind of get, you know, some cool texture, and add just some nice little bits of color into my image. I am not an expert by any means at shading or figuring out where things go or anything like that. But, you know, I've ordered several times from Simon Says Stamps, and Simon Says Stamp, and I've always had good results. There were a couple times before they redid their system that I had a hard time, like it took a long time for my order to get to me. But I think they got a new system in their warehouse. So I think they're a little bit faster now than they were before, maybe. I'm not really sure though. Okay, so it doesn't look like a whole lot when it's just one flower. But once we start to add the details into the other flowers, it starts looking a little bit more like something. So that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in on this flower, and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm just doing that flicking motion And I'm trying to kind of follow where the little lines are, because these are sort of drawn in for you as like a natural shading, so that it helps you kind of figure out where you're supposed to put your color and gives you a little bit of detail in those areas that you might not have had, which is really cool. Yeah, so anyhow, I really am, I don't know, I was telling you guys in my last video before we switched over to Christopher for a little bit, I've been like really super into all these floral images that everyone has lately. So I've been dying to play with a lot of these and just see what I can come up with, which is just really cool. I really like them. Oh, Belinda. Oh no. Yeah, it is a lot. And every coloring medium is different. So it's really hard because, you know, you think you've got it down and then you try to do something else and it works completely differently, which is always really super frustrating. I think that this one was actually supposed to be pink. I colored it purple. But I'm pretty sure it was actually supposed to be pink, so I'm just going to kind of take that over and make it pink, because I'm pretty sure it was not supposed to be purple. Sometimes I have a hard time telling for certain images. Let's see. Alcohol markers are your enemy. Oh no. I have gotten better with my alcohol markers, but I still have a lot to learn. I am definitely going to be taking some classes from Kitten Clowder. There's a group on Facebook, and she has a YouTube channel as well, but it's called Kit and Clowder, and she does amazing tutorials and classes. Like, you can pay to take certain types of classes, and she does those, and she is very, very talented. She is incredible. The things that she colors, like, I just hang out in that group. Hey, Sandy. I just hang out in the group and look at all the inspiration of things that she has made, and it's insane. It's so crazy. She's very talented. I wish that I could color like that, and maybe someday I'll be able to. But we will see. Oh, Tracy, that's awesome. And do you like the classes over at Kitten Clowder? I found that the ones that I've taken so far are really cool. She just does such a good job. I'm interested. Oh, you do love them. Good. Yes, definitely check it out. They're really cool. Okay, so there's that. We've got our two. I'm actually going to scribble just a little bit on here really quick because I colored that one purple and it really should have been pink. So I'm hoping that I can kind of add some color in there and it'll, I don't know, we'll see, kind of look a little more pink than purple. I don't know. Okay, so what I'm doing right here, and I was going to kind of do this a little bit later, but I think I'll just go ahead and do it a little bit right now. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting a little bit of water straight over top of what I just colored. Now these Tombow dual brush pens are water-based, so they do reactivate and move around with water, but you can see, look how it's blending. And I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm literally just like brushing over what I colored, but I'm starting in the direction that I added the densest or the darkest color, and I'm adding that water, and it helps to blend out the colors so that you don't have the harsh lines. And I just think that this is really cool. Now, I probably should have done this part a little bit earlier on this flower because now that it is dry, it won't be as easy to blend, or drier, I should say. It won't blend as easily, so I'll have to add more water, which will probably make my paper warp more because, like I was telling you guys earlier, this is not watercolor paper. It is just regular paper. It's Staples paper, like just regular cardstock. So adding more water is hard. Okay. I think these are looking really nice, you guys. It always surprises me that it starts to look like anything. Oh, thanks, Trudy. It always really surprises me because I'm like, oh, you know, I'm not very good at watercoloring, or I'm not very good at whatever. And then it just kind of like comes into existence and I'm like, wow, that's actually kind of pretty. I like that. All right, let me see which one is the lighter of my colors. Let's see, I blended on this one earlier, so I can just, I don't remember which one I used. Whoopsies, throwing my paper on the floor. Yeah, they're kind of different colors. Okay, so this one's pretty dark. So I guess this one would be my lighter color. All right, so let's go back into this. I'm going to do the same thing here and just kind of add that color in. You don't want to go too crazy because you want the color to blend naturally. So you just kind of want to add it where there might be shadows, things like that, just so that you have a nice little bit of color there. And then actually, I'm going to get my darker color and go right on over top of that, like so. And then for the darker color, you just want to add some, but not as much as you put for the lighter color. And that just kind of helps give you a gradient look, or like a transitioning from one color to another, which is really cool. Makes it look more realistic, I guess. Gives it more depth and dimension, which is always good. Look at that, that's pretty. I like it. Okay, so I keep forgetting which color is which. That's my dark color. Okay. All right, so this one's going to take a little bit of time because this one is the largest of the images. So it's going to give us a little bit of time that it's going to take for us to, okay, wow, post them on the Christopher Allen group. Masked Singer, what is that? I've never heard of that. I need more information. I've never even heard of it. I'm kind of out of the times these days, you guys. I don't have cable. We have like Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that, but we don't have we don't have cable. Or we might have cable, but I don't. Maybe we do. I don't know. I don't really even know if we have cable, to be completely honest. I think we did at one point, but I'm not sure that, I don't think we do anymore. We had it for a good long little while, and then we got rid of it because we were never watching it. Because the only thing I ever watched was, the only thing I ever watched, I only ever watch like Grey's Anatomy and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't have too many shows that I watch, really. But, you know, that's cool. Okay, so I had an idea of something to try for this particular card. Now, I saw this really cool video over on Jennifer McGuire's page, or her YouTube channel, where she had a guest designer, Aram Tasneem, I think. And people have costumes with masks, and the panel tries to guess who it is. Oh. Huh. That's interesting. Oh, Vay. I need to do that myself, and I just have not gotten the energy to do it yet. So, kudos to you for actually doing it, because I desperately need to clean my stuff, and I just haven't done it. Okay, I think I got all the pieces there. Hopefully I did. So we'll come back in with our darker color then. The pineapple. What does that mean? I feel so confused. Oh, I love these colors. Purple's my favorite color. So, you know, I had to use purple. So see, I'm just like coming in the shadow areas. I know I'm not really doing a very good job of explaining what I'm doing right now. But I'm just sort of going in those shadow areas and adding just a little bit of the darker color in there. so that when we go to blend, it will blend really nicely. And you'll get that nice transition from dark to light. I like it. Okay, so that was my darker color. All right, so now I'm going to do the water blending, and I am not using a lot of water at all. I'm only using like what's on the very tip of my brush, which is not very much. So don't feel like you have to saturate the page with water, because then all of your stuff will just kind of blend into nothingness, and you don't necessarily want that. You want to still have those individual colors, because those are kind of what make your watercolor unique and beautiful. Having the gradient, let's see, that was too much water. Having that gradient there is really nice. So that's going to make my paper warp a little bit because I added too much water. But that's okay. So I don't really love the transition that I got here. So what I'm actually going to do is just come back in while it's wet and just add a little bit of that lighter color, because since the paper's wet, it's going to blend a little bit easier. I'm not going to get as harsh of lines. And then I don't want to add the darkest color because I still want that gradient, but I kind of want that lighter color to come out into my stuff a little bit more, so that we get the nice blend of colors. There we go. I think that looks a little bit better. Hey Rose, how's it going? Oh, it's a famous person dressed like a pineapple with a pineapple head. Yes, these are Tombow dual brush pens. They call them pens, but most people I think would consider it a marker. But I use them mostly for hand lettering, to be completely honest. Oh, thanks, Angela. Yeah, so I use them mostly for hand lettering if I'm going to use them. Okay, so let's come right on up here and add some color in. Now this is not going to take much because this is mostly heat embossed up here. There is not a whole lot going on as far as open space, so we won't really have much real estate to work with, but we can do our best. That's the only thing about images that are very tight lined, if that makes sense. You will have a harder time blending them and getting everything to look nice, because there's not very much open space. Okay, so this is what we are working with so far. We've got our floral images all colored. So now we're going to move on to the greenery or the foliage. Let's see, I've got two different greens, and I'm just going to use my scratch paper here. Sometimes I have a hard time figuring out by the cap which color is darkest, and which one is lightest. So I think what I'm going to do is use this brighter green. Oh, wait, is that the lighter green or the darker green? Oh, whoops, hold on. I grabbed the wrong color. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. All right, so I'm just scribbling onto my mat that lighter color, and then I'm going to do the same thing over here and just spritz it with some water, just so that I have that little bit of pigment and I can pop it right into my leafy areas. Now again, these leafy areas have a lot of embossed area, so the stamp itself takes up a majority of the leafy part, which makes it hard because you have a difficult time getting your color in there. That's okay, but it does make it difficult to try to fill in that space over here. So, you know, just something to consider when you're choosing a stamp for these types of projects. Just kind of look at the lines and see where everything goes, and maybe that will help make your decision on which stamps you would like to use or which ones you want to purchase if you're looking to add some to your collection. Yeah. Woohoo! Okay, So did you guys like Christopher's live showing you the kind of like the tour of the store and all of that, all the Valentine's Day goodies that he was showing off over there? I know a lot of you popped over there to see what he was going live with. And I'm okay if it's messy. That doesn't really bother me. Because it's not, you know, I don't know. It just doesn't really bother me that much. If it goes out of the lines a little bit, that's okay. Fine by me. Okay. So if you want to clean your little water brush, you just squirt this. You can squeeze. The one I have, you just squeeze right here, and then it squirts the water into the brush area, and you can just wipe it off until your color is clean, or your brush comes off clean. I'm going to take the darker color and just add a little bit into some of those areas just for a little bit of texture and extra dimension. With these ones, I am not worried about like blending too much at all, or even worrying about kind of where the color is coming from, just because the space is so small. I'm not really going to be able to get anything realistic anyway. Okay. Oh no, the shipping rates aren't good. That's no good. I think it's all based on the weight of the packages, maybe. And I think they're still a fairly small company, so I don't think that they get the discounts that some of the larger companies get on shipping the packages, which is kind of a bummer. Because shipping really is expensive. Like when oh, I didn't mind it being messy. Angela, that's so funny. Yeah, I mean, that store, it's just so messy, but you know, it doesn't really bother me that much. That's funny. I'm just like, I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it is. All right, I'm adding a little bit of green, which it's probably gonna wipe right off, but that's okay, to the little stem parts so that it looks like these are still kind of blooming. It's got the little green flower parts on it. Look at that, you guys. Holy bejesus. We did a thing. Okay, so that is the floral piece of things. Then I said my coloring. Yes, I was talking about my coloring. Because let's be real, that's kind of what I'm all about around here. All right, so the thing that I want to do, I saw this really cool tutorial on adding some, well, okay, that's what I was telling you guys about earlier, is that, oh, thanks, Faye. The Jennifer McGuire video that I was watching, Aram Tasneem, I believe is her name. She is the one who was doing the technique on the channel. She was kind of like a guest designer on Jennifer McGuire's channel. And she was showing like how to make or add backgrounds or like stripes in the background and stuff like that. I'm a little nervous to do it because this is so pretty that I don't want to mess it up. But I really kind of want to try it. So, her latest YouTube video, yes. Yeah, it was her, she was like a guest designer. And she did this really pretty, she did a really pretty technique with a flower from Altenew. And I have that set, but I have not, I don't know. I haven't tried it. Okay, so I have my black Tombow, or I could use alcohol markers. I do have a black Copic. You add the color using the marker. It makes me nervous even thinking about it, you guys. Okay, let me see. I have a pencil. I can at least draw some stuff out first before I take the plunge and do it with a marker, because there's no going back from that, right? Okay, so I'm just going to do a super light line here, and then, let's see. because I definitely want them to be straight is the only thing. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take off another interruption. Interruption of what? I know, it's scary. Start with gray. Oh, that's a good idea. What kind of gray do you think? What is on my marker? There's like some goopy junk on the outside. That's gross. Okay, I'll start with gray. That sounds reasonable. Okay, so what I'm going to do is line this stuff up with my little dots here, and then line my ruler up with the dots so that hopefully I get a straight line. So then this will be the space that I color in. Oh, I see. Yes, so then this will be my colored in section. And I kind of want to do, I don't know, just like some like thin lines and some smaller lines. Like I don't want them to all be the same size, if that makes sense. So I'll have one thick one, one thin one. Maybe like two thin ones right under here. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like what might look nice, so that it's not too overwhelming. And you want to make sure you get it on both sides, just because you don't want to have to try to go back later and update that. That would be my luck. That would be something I would do. So I'm going to do another thin line here. Okay, I'm going to start with this at least, and then see where I go. Oh, 2 at once. Yeah, I couldn't watch 2 videos at once. That would stress me out. Okay, so you're saying start with gray. Do you think I should do like a warm gray? I don't really have very much as far as cool grays go. I'm worried about this color being too dark. Let's see. Is that too dark, or is that a good color? I think that's a good color. I don't know. We'll see what happens, you guys. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm still going to use my ruler to try to like make sure I don't go out of the lines, if that makes sense. Just to kind of keep my color in one spot. I'm so nervous right now. I mean, I know it doesn't have to be perfect, but I am kind of a perfectionist. And I just spent all that time on the background, and I really wanted to share it. I should have taken a picture first, you guys. I definitely should have taken a picture. Alright, see my little line is going down a little bit right there. Guess I'm going through this flower. Because I don't want it to look like my line just stops, because that's kind of weird. Okay, there we go. Snowed all day. Oh my gosh. It's definitely not snowing here. Alright, here's what I'm going to do for this one. I'm going to try to change up my little pattern a little bit here, just so that I can hopefully get a little bit of a better result. I'm going to take it easy coming through here with the flowers, because I don't want to go over my coloring. Indiana has only had a dusting. Yeah, we definitely haven't gotten, I guess I should knock on wood, but we really haven't gotten any wintry weather for the most part here, except for the one weekend I was traveling back from Pittsburgh. Because of course. But even here in Virginia Beach, it wasn't snowy. It was just snowy in Williamsburg, which is about an hour away from us. Okay, so far so good, theoretically. Except for, is this supposed to be part of the flower? I think it is. I'm going to leave that. I don't want to color that. Okay. I think I'm feeling confident enough to try this part. No, I shouldn't have said that. I was feeling confident enough, and then I immediately went outside the lines. Bummer. Man. I should have just used the ruler, you guys. Well, that's okay. Like I said, doesn't have to be perfect. All right, hopefully that cleans it up a little bit. Yeah, it's been fairly warm here in Williamsburg. I mean, in Virginia Beach. So, I don't know what the deal is with the weather around here, but it certainly doesn't feel a whole lot like winter. And I don't know if that means like the winter's going to come later when I'm ready for spring, or if we're just not going to get much of a winter this year. I don't really know. Okay, let's see. So I did accidentally draw inside my flower there. That's kind of unfortunate. Alrighty. Maybe I can take a little eraser in there. I can probably add a little more purple too, so that it doesn't. Was this my lighter purple? Yes. I kind of want to add just a little bit more of the purple there, so that it looks more intentional. Like the leaves don't look so weird. Because these outside ones, I don't know, it just kind of looks a little strange. And then I'll just do my little bit of blending here, just to kind of bring that color out a little bit more. Okay, that's at least a little bit better. Okay. All right, what do you guys think so far? I can add, should I do like lines like this throughout the lower part and then just stop them right here so that the top is open? Or just leave it like this? Or should I add more stripes? I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of bad at figuring out lines and whatever. You think leave it? Okay, so you don't want any more down on this side down here? Okay. I know, I feel like maybe one more, but I don't know like if it should be farther down. I don't know. Butterfly. Okay, you guys don't think that we should add another one? Okay. Oh, Rose, I'm so sorry. I hope that you start feeling better. That's such a bummer. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I think this one is a little bit, I'm gonna add a little bit down here because over there, they're a little closer together. There, that's better. Okay, because they were just like too far apart. Anyway, it didn't look like they were, okay, you know I will definitely be adding sequins to this. Let's just be real. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is try to figure out 1, 2, 3, 4. See, yeah, okay, I think it does need one more. I'm going to do one more thin one so that it doesn't look weird with the odd number, or, you know, without an odd number. And I'll just put it down a little bit, like maybe right here on the top. And I'm going to try with the chisel part. Oh, that's definitely what I should have been doing, you guys. I definitely should have been using the chisel. That would have made things much, much easier. Definitely should have used the chisel. Bummer. Okay. Ah! You live and you learn, right? Okay, well, it is what it is. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Here's what I'm going to do, because I don't really like this either. So I'm going to add 2 more. I know that you guys are probably cringing because I always do this, but it's whatever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add another, because this is so thin, I feel comfortable doing it. If it wasn't as thin as this, I wouldn't do it, but because it's so thin, I'm just going to go for it. So I'm going to add one there, and then I'm going to add one thin one up here. I actually really like these thin lines, but I want to do the thin one pretty close to that other line. That didn't work at all. Whoops. Let's try that again. I know it's only paper, but I just spent so much time on it. It's hard for me to let go. Okay, so that's that. And if I follow it here, yeah, there's no line showing through. Okay, I think that helps break it up a little bit more, so it's not so whatever it was before. I don't know. They say odd works better. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Aw, thanks, Faye. Okay, so that is that. Now, the only other thing that I want to do is I'm going to take a very, very light gray, and I saw this in Aram. I'm not sure if it's Aram or if it's Aram, but I am going to outline the edge of my floral bits with this other gray marker, and I'm using warm grays just because I think they look more earthy. And this is actually going to help my lines around where the lines are look a little bit better. It won't look quite so odd. But what I'm going to do, thanks Trudy, is I'm just going around all of these colors, or all of the embossed edges, because it helps it kind of pop off the page a little bit once it dries, so that it's not so faded into the white, if that makes sense. Because sometimes you lose the image a little bit, the exterior of the image, because it is embossed on white cardstock with white embossing powder, and you can't really tell where the images start and stop. So this is kind of a nice way to give it a little bit more dimension. Oh yeah, definitely. It was really easy. I mean, I should have used the chisel for all of it, and I would have had better results, I think. But I think all things considered, it still turned out pretty cool. I do wish I would have used the chisel earlier, if I would have thought of that. But that's okay. It's all just experimentation, and that's what I said when we were going into it. So I feel okay about it, because when we first started, oh yeah, I think we're all kind of in the same crafty little bubble. There's not, I mean, there are a lot of crafters, but when you really think about it, there's not really that many. So if you find people that you like, chances are the other people like them for the same reasons. And so you kind of tend to get the same little crowd of people that kind of bounce from video to video, which is cool. Like, you know who I really like? I really like Simon Hurley. He always has really cute videos, and he's so well put together, especially for how young he is. I just think that's really cool. A drop shadow helps it pop. Yes, fancy words for my really badly described stuff. I'm just like, oh yeah, just put some dark lines around it. It's cool. Okay, so that kind of helps it look a little bit more dimensional, I feel like. Yes, his little life hacks. They're so cute. He's adorable. Okay, so that is that. And then you guys know how I love my splatter. So I think what I'm going to do is, let's see, what can I use? I have, okay, so the thing is, I have browns, but I don't really want to use them with water, because then it gets all watered down and it kind of bleeds a little bit on the paper. And it doesn't give like a super crisp look. So I'm trying to think of what I should use. Oh, Corin, I really like her too. I can't wait to meet her at Creativation next week. She and I are going to be working in one of the booths at the same time, and I can't wait to meet her. I'm really excited about it. Okay, so I'm trying to think of what I want to do here. I'm sorry that you guys are struggling. That makes me so sad. Her name is Corin Wiskman. That's the name of her channel too. She's really cool. She actually, she just went to the Neat and Tangled design team. So that's really cool. I'm excited to see what she creates over there. How am I qualifying to go? To what? Oh, I definitely will, Angela. She is really funny. She always has crazy little quirks and stuff. Yes, I'm going to do a splatter, but I'm trying to figure out what I want to use. I didn't really want to use this, the brown. Oh, Creativation. Well, I'm not sure what you mean. Like, how am I qualifying? Like, how do I have enough subscribers? Or like, how, I'm not sure what you mean. Are you asking like how, like what I had to do in order to be able to go? Is that what you mean? I don't know. I'm waiting to hear from you. Whoa, that was a lot. I tapped it a little too hard. So I'm just using my hand to cover up the flower so that I don't get a bunch of splatter all over my flower area. Yes, I love her little family vlogs. It's so cute. Oh, no, it's not just for business owners, although I do have a business. It is for people in the trade. So I can go because I qualify as a digital content creator, and you have to have a certain number of subscribers and watch time and visits on your page and all of that in order to qualify to go. And so I had to send in all of my qualifications and show them that I had a social media presence and that I had like 10,000 views a month. And you have to meet certain criteria in order to qualify to be able to go. But the no, you can't just go, I guess, as like I don't really know. I'm not sure about all of the other requirements, like for a business, how, if you have to make a certain amount of money, or I'm not really sure how that works. But I know that for, it's on their website. So it's all through AFCI. So if you go to their website, then, yeah, it's all on there. It's just, they have different requirements for each type of badge that you can apply for and get. So I only know about the specific badge type that I qualify for. I don't know anything about the other ones. So I feel like I'm not that helpful, but I don't know. So I'm adding some black spatter too, just to kind of break things up a little bit, I guess. I really liked that Aram had done this in her video. I don't know. But the problem, see, that I'm facing is that it's getting really muted. It's not black. It's not like a really crisp, opaque black, and I don't like that. I really want it to be darker than this. I don't like it. Ah. Fudge. I got a little bit of a boo-boo down there, but that's okay. Okay, so what I want to actually do is find, I need some sort of black something, like usually I would probably use acrylic paint, but I don't know if I have any black acrylic paint. Let me look really quick. I have a thing. Hey, Connie. Hold on one second. I do. Okay, I do have a little bit of paint. So what I'm going to do is The problem is that it's getting watered down because of the water brush itself. The water brush has the water on it. Ooh, that was way too much paint for what I need. But that's okay. We'll make it work. Me too, Rose. Me too. And I'm actually just going to use my brush here, even though I probably shouldn't. There we go. Yay. Ooh, that was a really big blob on there. Haha. See how it's like more opaque now? I really like that better. Now you do want to be careful and cover up the flour, because you don't want like black spatters all over your flour. So you do want to be careful with that. But if you get a little bit here and there, it's not a big deal. Like, see, I got just a little bit over there, and it's not the end of the world, but yeah, I got like a little bit on my little flower. But anyway, it's not a huge deal, but you know, it just depends on what you like. There we go. Just a little bit up there. Haha. I'm just kind of filling in some of the areas that don't really have much going on for the black. There we go. All right. All right, so I do want to really quickly wash this off here, because I don't want acrylic paint stuck in my water brush. Oh, thanks, Dee. I'm having a fun time creating it, so I hope you guys like it. And you make sure you clean up all your little splatters. They kind of tend to get on everything on your desk. So it's probably best, if you're not me, to go back and like, we'll go and get a cardboard box or something like that that you can splatter in. If you make the flowers. What flowers? Look at that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I need to clean off my brush. So let me grab a new, I'm going to set that aside so it can kind of dry for a minute. All I'm going to do is just kind of squeeze out the water. Oh, I used the wrong brush. That's why. Hold on. Let's see if we can do our surgery again and get more water in here. Without spilling it. I don't know if we can do that twice, you guys. Oh my gosh, we did it twice. That's crazy town. Oh, if I masked the flowers. Yes. I should have done that in all reality. I mean, I should have just done that. That would have been the smart thing to do, but I was being lazy. Because I'm not very into fussy cutting, if I'm being completely honest. And, you know, obviously, in order to mask, you have to fussy cut. So, there's that. It is a lot more work. It really is. Tried to get them all to the Bruce Monroe party. Oh, yeah. Okay, so my brush is looking pretty good. I just didn't want any acrylic paint like drying in there, because then my brush would get crusty and it just wouldn't work the same. Anyway, so that's that. So now we've got some brown and we've got some black. I do want to let it dry, because since that is paint, it's not going to really work the same as if it's not going to absorb into the paper really. We just kind of have to let it dry. So, you know, there's that. So while we're doing that, we can kind of think about what we might like to do for sentiments and all of that. Hi, Heidi. I don't know. There's some beautiful stuff in the stamp set itself. So we have happy birthday, love and hugs, you are a treasure to me. And then we've got these larger words like happy, loved, joy, and beautiful, though some of these are going to be too big. We won't be able to unless we heat emboss them or something and put them somewhere. I don't know. Which we could do that. I mean, we could do whatever. And then I'm going to add a boatload of sequins. Simon had other stuff. Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about Simon Hurley for some reason. Is that who you're talking about? Or is Simon the name of May May's son too? I don't know the name of their son. Huh. Can't have too many sequins. That's true. The cool thing about this set is that you can pop these images up, so you get the images that are part of this flower, you also get separately. So you can pop them up and make it a dimensional card. Oh, Josh. I'm hearing Josh and I'm hearing Thomas. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. Why don't, I have an idea. Why don't we do, is Beautiful gonna fit on here? It will. But I would pretty much have to cover up the whole background. Oh, they have 3 sons. Okay. Well, that's cool. All right. So what I'm going to do is, I think instead of the gray, I may actually come in with a darker color. Because I'm feeling like the gray looks a little strange to me. And I'm wondering if black might look better. I don't know. All right. So I've got... I want to use You Are So... Oh, one son is actually her nephew. Okay. I need to watch more of her videos. I just haven't really had the chance yet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some black cardstock. Because you know me and I love my black cardstock. Let's see if this one is wide enough to go the whole width. It is not. It's just barely too short. Although I'll probably end up cutting this panel down, to be honest, and mounting it on another card base. So I'm actually going to go ahead and use this and it will be fine. Oh, although the Beautiful, let's see. Oops, I'm stuck. Oh no, it fits. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just do it as centered as I can. And as thin as I can, because I don't want it to be, I don't want it to take up too much space. And if we don't like the way this looks, we can always decide not to use it, and I can use it on another project. So it won't hurt anything to go ahead and just heat emboss it and see how we like it. If I don't like it, I will just put it in the back of my stamp set on the opposite side, and I'll keep it for another time if I want to use it then. I'm looking for my embossing ink. It's over here. And this is the first time I've used this, the sentiments from this stamp set. I haven't used those yet. She was wanting to meet them. Oh. That's really cool when you get to kind of hear all the backgrounds of the different crafters. It's nice to know that people are human. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's really nice to see other people who are real people. Not that like anyone is not a real person or whatever, but like sometimes it's just nice to know, like, you know, everybody's human, everybody makes mistakes, everyone has lives outside of card making and crafting, and it's nice to get to know people a little bit better. Crafters are different, yeah. We are a special breed of unicorn. Oh, they. Well, don't hurt yourself. Okay, so I'm going to pop out that heat tool, get it nice and warmed up. Sorry for the noise. There we go. I like this outline. When I was looking at it before, I wasn't really thinking about it being an outline. I was just thinking about it being like solid black letters. That's really cool. I really like the way that that looks. I'm going to take a dry corner of my paper towel It does have a lot of wet junk on it, but part of it is dry at least. And get off the extra dust and all of that, all the extra powder. So what I was thinking, you guys, is that I would trim this. Let's see how much is left. Barely any on the bottom, so I'm going to do barely any on the top. So I've got my pretty little word here, and I don't want to cover up too much of the flower, but I'm going to trim it down, so there will be that. And then what I was thinking, oh, I got to be careful not to mess up my paint. It's mostly dry, but there's a couple places that are not. Oh, somebody told someone how rude they were. What? Oh, that's sad. They don't have silencers for heat guns yet. That is hilarious, Heidi. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I'm trying to decide when I do put this on. Okay, because here's my idea. I'm going to trim this outside panel down a little bit. I'm going to, so this says "You Are So," and then it'll be beautiful. But I wanted to stamp the "You Are So" directly on my card front because I think that'll be a really cool way to change up the texture. So we can do a couple of things. We can kind of put it up here in the middle of the flower. But then there's my lines, you know, I don't know. Because there's not going to be the outside edge. Or we can do it kind of like down here at the bottom a little bit, which will kind of negate my little itty bitty lines at the bottom, but you know, it is what it is. I think it looks better down here, to be honest. But then the problem is if I change these lines to black, which I think I want to because of this black strip, but if I change the lines to black, I would need to put this way up here at the top in order for you to be able to see it. You like it better down low? Okay, me too. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna trim down this panel. I'm really whatever, because there's one piece of, there's one part that's not dry yet that I can see, but everything else looks nice and dry. I really am glad that I chose the acrylic paint instead of just the lighter color because that black looks so much more crisp now. I really like that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna take my black, my black Copic, and I'm gonna get smart because some viewer told the team when to not take pics. What do you mean by that? Like during daylight or something? Or was it like a natural lighting thing? Or was it, I don't really understand the context, so I'm not really sure. I don't know what's going on. Ooh, okay. I'm nervous again, you guys, but we've got this, right? We can do it. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. The gray and the black. I was just gonna say that. Yeah, I don't. What were they talking about? Like, what was the context of why were they telling somebody not to take pictures? I don't really understand. I don't understand. Oops, got on my desk a little bit there. Watch it on their channel. Yeah, okay. Well, was it Alexandra that was live? From Hedgehog Hollow? She goes live on their channel a lot, I think. Look at that. So I'm just starting with my basic lines, guys, and then I will go back and fill them in if we decide we want to do that, or if we decide we want to leave them like this. I don't know. They look kind of cool with the outlines. I'm not sure. But then what am I going to do about these ones at the bottom? I don't know. Because they're really thin. I don't know, guys. Oh, it was Alexandra Smith. Yeah, Stapleton. Alexandra Stapleton Smith, I think, is her full name there. Uh-oh. There's that. And this last one over here, and then I will have to go back through and kind of touch up the ones that are sort of hiding a little bit. There are some little areas that I couldn't quite get into with the ruler again in the exact same. When they should take pics during lives. I don't understand. I'll have to watch it and see what you mean, because I don't get it. I feel confused, which is fine. I probably don't need to know anyway. That's just me being nosy. And I probably shouldn't be too nosy. Okay, what do you guys think? Do you think that I should leave it with the gray and the black, or do you think we should color them in completely black? I'll wait and see what you guys think, and I'm gonna take a drink really quick while you guys are thinking about it. You think color it in completely black instead of leaving the gray? Okay, I can do that. Let's see. I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to take it on the edge here, because when I try to use the brush side, it is a little too precarious for me, and I get uneven edges. So I'm going to use this little side here. It is scary working with black, though, you guys. Oh, you liked the black? Oh no. I mean the gray. You liked the gray. Well, ooh, look at that, you guys. That's really neat. The acrylic paint, I don't know if you can tell, but the other acrylic paint still shows through. Like, you can still see the flecks on top of the black. That's kind of neat. Let's see. I've never used the chisels. I never use the chisels. It scares me to use these chisels like this. Ah, see, I went over the edge. Okay, I'm gonna stick to the edge. And like we were saying before, this, it's all trial and error, so if I make a mistake, it's not the end of the world, but I am a bit of a perfectionist, so I prefer not to make the mistake. If I can help it. Hold it closer, yes. Yep. It's so cool because it makes it look like it's popping off the page. That was the whole thing. Oh yeah, that's true. I can just cover it up with sequins. I know, I really like it. So yeah, I was watching the video that was on Jennifer McGuire's channel, you know, because she had Aram over there on as a guest designer, and I was like, I'm gonna have to try that because her card is gorgeous. If you guys have not watched it yet, you should definitely check it out because the card she made is insane. It was so beautiful. Maybe I can just go back in with a white gel pen and like clean up my lines a little bit. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I need to do over here because we've got some stray gray lines hanging out in the shadows over here. And right there. Okay. And then color this little guy in. All right. I think that we got it all. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, that's awesome, Belinda. Definitely post it on the Facebook page. I can't wait to see it. Okay, so now we've got our black lines. That's awesome. All right. Is my little bit up here dry? I think it's dry enough for us to function. Oh my gosh, you guys. I am really liking the way that this is turning out. I am so excited. This is so cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's see. I have a Lawn Fawn. Oh yeah, to lighten it. I think this is too small. I think it's gonna cut off too much of our design. Yeah. I think I'll just trim it down. I was thinking about using it to have the stitched edges on it, but a Versamark pen. I don't have a Versamark pen, but I do have this, which is an Emboss It pen. Is that? It's Ranger. No, I have my own Facebook page. Hold on. Here we go. http facebook.com/Jess. There you go. Okay. So that's that. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going to trim down my panel. So that, Trudy, is my own Facebook page, which I use to kind of like update you guys on my stuff. And then on top of that, oh look, you guys, I cut off the oopsie whoopsie side anyway. So that works out really well. Hooray! I took that. You heard that Christopherism, right? I don't have that, Roberta, but that sounds awesome. I wish I did have that. That's really cool. Okay. So here we go. That's what I've got. That's my, that is our card front. And then I will put it on a piece of foam, I believe. And, oops. I will, no, it's not a thing where you add as a friend, but you like the page, and then you guys can, post photos of your projects as long as they are craft related. They don't have to be a certain brand or anything like that. As long as they are a craft project of some sort. Yeah, then, DM you a picture of it. That's awesome. Yeah, I would love to see it. So once I'm done on here, then I will be able to take a look at it. Fog. What about fog? Yeah, you can follow it or like it, or both. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take my little "You Are So" stamp, and I think I like it up here, maybe, even though our sentiment's going to be down at the bottom, because I think it's going to be too busy if we try to, oh, fog paper. Yes! Corin uses that for like everything. I was wondering if that's what you meant, but I wasn't sure. Okay, so if I put the "You Are So" up there and then have the beautiful down here, like with our lines and whatnot, I think that is really cute, and we can trim off those excess bits. You guys, this is so cool. I really like this. Oh yes, make sure that you go over to community or visitor page or whatever so that you see what all is posted. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to turn my Missy upside down so that I can just stamp within the same little bit here. Just a little lower. Yeah, I'll come back and reposition the beautiful here in just a little bit. So what I want to do is plop that down. And then actually, I'm going to grab the bar magnet from my large Misty as well. I'm making a giant mess. Yay! You guys are the best. I'm going to use my other bar magnet up at the top because I really don't want this to move around. I want it to stay right where I need it. So let's see. I'm going to try to use this little piece of paper to like reposition. That's not really going to work. I just have such a hard time. And I know Rose gave me a really good suggestion, which was to use a like a pencil eraser, but I don't have one handy. Let's see if I can get it to stay. Haha! I have not shopped at Concord and Ninth today, but not for lack of wanting to. It's just that I have to save my money for Creativation. I want to buy all the things. There's like all this cute stuff is coming out right now, and I really want it all. and I can't buy it. There was a lot of discussion in a group today about the magnets. Oh, sorry. There. Now you can actually see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to use this new ink that I got from scrapbook.com because, as you guys know, I have been trying this out for just the last day or two, or 2 or 3 days maybe, just trying to see if I like it. And I will keep you guys updated and let you know how things are progressing with it and if I do like it or not. Oh, that's true. I could have just put it on the window. Uh-oh. You see we have a blob there, which makes it look a little weird because it makes it look like my stamp didn't stamp very well. I haven't tried the Catherine Pooler inks, but they are absolutely on my list, and I'm hoping that maybe, I don't know if they will have any to try out at the booth in Creativation. Or at Creativation. I don't know. We'll see. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Because this is a little messy because of the splatters here. But fear not. Because I'm just going to use my white gel pen and make it look like it's not. So there. Now we can actually read it. And it says, "You are so beautiful." Well, it actually just says, "You are so." But that's okay. We will make it say, "You are so beautiful." Yeah, I really want the Turnabout Toolkit thingamajiggy. I definitely want that. So hopefully I can snag that soon from Concord and 9th. All right. Let's wipe some stuff off over here since I've got this paper towel here already. All right. I am really excited about this card, you guys. All right, so I am going to pop it up on foam, but I'll do that in just a minute once we figure out the placement for everything. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we can put it all the way down here. I kind of hate to cover up any of the flowers, so I almost wanted to put it right here so that it was kind of in the middle, and but you still got to see that purple one down there. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yes, I saw that Gina K is going to have a new size, like for giant, it's like a giant wreath builder. I am super excited. I liked it down low, but just for the sake of trying things, we could put it here. So it's closer up there next to the "You Are So." We could put it like right here. "You are so beautiful." So this is what it would look like if it was up high. I kind of like it in between those two lines because it works really nicely. You can still see these flowers. I think you get a really good view of the flowers. I kind of like it right here, you guys. I liked it down at the bottom at first, but I don't know. I think it looks more natural here with the strips of the lines. You know what I mean? Like with those drawn in lines. I feel like it looks really nice right there. Yeah? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to pop this piece up on foam since I'm going to pop the whole card front up on foam. And I want it to look more flat, essentially, with the background. Like I want it to look like it belongs. Oh, Tracy, I'm glad that you like it. Okay, so we thought like right here. And then I want to be able to kind of move it around a little bit. Because my edges are a little bit long. So I don't want to stick it down quite, good Lord. I want to try to get it as centered as I can. Let's see. It's crooked. It's hard because there's no other line over here, so it's hard to tell if it's crooked or not. I think that looks good. You own a mini Misty? Me too. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just trim off the little edges over here. I've got my fussy cutting scissors. Woo! boy. Okay. So there's that edge. Good grief. I think I'm going to do it from the front on this side. Yep. So this will be a fun one. This will be a fun one to edit and then turn into a tutorial video. That'll be really cool. I dropped my scissor lid. I'm so crazy about this. I can't believe how this turned out. Like, this is not where I was going with this card at all. And you guys know, this kind of is my thing, is like I start out with one idea and then it totally transforms into something else. And it's a really fun process. All right, so let's see what we've got for leftover foam here. I'd like to just use one sheet, so I might just snag a piece of pink. I think I'll use pink. Oh. Okay, so I've got a whole big sheet here, and I will just trim it down to, let's see, 3.75 by 5, I think. 3.75. Oh, thank you. I'm really excited about how this is turning out. I did not expect this when we started. But I am super excited about it. Oh, it's 11:03. You guys, it's my birthday time. Me and my husband always have this thing, and I have no idea why, but we always wish each other happy birthday time. Because 11:03 is my, 11/3 is November 3rd is my birthday. And so we always do happy birthday time, which is so silly. I don't know why. The flower stamp is from Simon Says Stamp. It's called Beautiful Flowers. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I don't want this to be facing down for too long because it's too pretty for that. So I'm actually just going to set it here. This is that double-sided tape that I got from scrapbook.com that I have been trying out. I love it, you guys. It is super, super sticky, which is obviously awesome when you're looking at a double-sided tape. It works really well on this foam, which is what I was wanting it for the most. And you can rip it so easily. You don't have to worry about, I don't know, some of the tapes and stuff, or you have to use scissors, and that's just like really cumbersome. But yeah, so I don't know. I really like it. If you guys haven't tried this kind of stuff before, I mean, I would definitely suggest it. I don't know. I think it's really neat. Oops. Although it's sticking to my fingers right now. I'm going to pull off this little bit down here. My hands are really sticky right now. Okay, there we go. And the one thing that I really do like too is that it comes off pretty easily. Yeah, it's basically like score tape. It is scrapbook.com's brand, so they have their own exclusive of this double-sided adhesive that you can pick up and purchase if you'd like. Oh, good night. Are you heading out, Stacy? I will see you later then. Uh-oh. So the one thing that I do find is that you kind of do have to rub it down a little bit if you're going to be using it on the foam, because the foam itself makes things hard for it to stick. But then once you do rub it down just a tiny little bit, you can peel it right off. So I just use something sharp like this, and then it comes right off, which is awesome. I don't have any trouble with it, and it's so much faster for me than having to worry about, because what I was doing before is I was using my ATG, and half the time the tape wouldn't stick to it at all. And so, I don't know, it was just really frustrating. And so now I can just see if that little edge is peeling up, and if it is, then I'll just push it down just a little bit more and then go ahead and take it off. So that's really neat. I really like it. Okay, so, I'm gonna need that again, I guess, because I gotta do the other side. Yes. I'm in Virginia, so my humidity is not quite as bad probably as yours maybe. I'm not really sure. But we have pretty bad humidity here as well. And I just, you know, you do what you can, I guess, to get through. But sometimes my embossing powders get chunky. Yes, it is just a big tape gun. Yep, it's double-sided adhesive. It's the same as this, only it's on a roll that's like already ready to go. You don't have to worry about the backing. Yep. It's pretty awesome. I like it a lot. All right, let's get our little tape roll back out here and plop on the back bits. The only bad thing is because I didn't use, mono adhesive like this one. The thing that I don't like about this is that it makes the warping worse, in my opinion. If you've already have, this is kind of warped, and if you're already struggling with warping, it does not make it any better. It actually probably makes it worse, which is a bummer, because obviously it's a liquid, so, you know, that makes sense, but it's still frustrating. Let's see, what am I doing here? I'm just kind of like all over the place. Oh, and the blue one. Yeah. Yep. I don't think I have the blue one. I only have the green one. What's the difference between the blue and the green? I don't know if I know. Okay, so I'm going to give all of that just a good little rub to get it a little more flat. And hopefully, yeah, see my paper's a little warped there. Oh well. It's okay. I have been, as you guys know, really obsessed with the Gina K Connect glue lately. So I have been using that a ton, and I use it for a lot of stuff. So that's been really good to me. I'm probably going to run out before too long because, oh, you shipped it to New Mexico. That's okay, May. Have a great night. Thanks for hanging out and all of your awesome input. Yeah, I have the Gina K Connect glue, which I'm going to have to replace soon because I've used it so much that I'm probably going to run out before too long. I'm surprised I haven't run out already, to be honest. But, you know, that's cool. I can't believe this, you guys. I'm so excited. I'm going to pull it down a little closer to me really quick just so that I can see what I'm doing as far as getting it on my card base. So I want to try to make it as straight as possible. All this work, we don't want to ruin it. All right. Okay, now the last thing to do is to add sequins. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh my gosh. I am so excited right now. Oh, Trudy, you definitely need to open it. I was a little hesitant at first, and I wasn't really sure about it, but once I started using it, I was like, heck yes. My beautiful looks slightly crooked, I feel like. It's a little too high. I think if I try to take it off, though, well, it's very heat embossed over there, so it actually, I think it'll let me reposition it. That's kind of cool. Roberta, I cannot even believe this week. This week has been nuts. Okay, so I don't know if I told you guys this or if I have even been live since all of this happened. Hold on, I'm shifting my phone cord again because it fell down. Okay. Hopefully it's out of the view now. Yes, it goes a long way. I've been using it on like everything and I haven't run out yet. Okay, so I have a story to tell you guys. Whatever, we're having story time, I guess. But I have been like baffled about my Instagram and all of that lately because you guys, crazy things happened. All right, what happened was I posted that photo of this, whoops. So you remember in our live when I made, well, I shared this on the blog, but we wanted to recreate this, so I made this one. Well, I shared these on my Instagram, And May Park, who is the one who I saw this technique from, so I don't know if you guys remember me saying that. I saw this video from Altenew, and I wanted to try out the technique. This is where I got the idea from, was from May Park. Well, May Park is the marketing director of Altenew, and she saw my photo of this card, and I had this one on there too, but this was the main one. So she saw my card, and she shared it in her stories, in her Instagram story, and she put something along the lines of, I saw this card from a card day's work and had to follow her for more inspiration. Something like that. And I was like dying, like, oh my gosh, she liked my photo and she put me in her stories and I can't even believe it, and she tagged me, and I started getting a bunch of new people following me, which was super crazy. And she followed me, which was a big deal for me because I've been doing the educator certification program, you know, so like to have her following me was really, really neat. And I just was so super excited about it. Yeah, she like tagged me in it and everything and was like, go follow her, yay. Which was crazy. And she has something like, I don't know, like 11 or 12,000 followers on Instagram, which is awesome. So I was kind of exposed to a whole new group of people. Well, so she did that. And then I also got featured on Lawn Fanatics, which is their challenge blog. So my little card, this one, this card that I made for the Lawn Fawn Challenge, how cool is that? Lawn Fawn featured my thing, like my card, on their little feature thingamajig at the end of the challenge. So like of all the cards that were submitted, mine was one of 8 that was featured, which is really super cool. So I got featured on the Lawn Fawn blog. So that was crazy. And that happened on the same day. So I was really excited about that. And then, you guys, the biggest of all big, huge things happened in my life. And do you want to know what that was? The craziest crazy of them all is that so after all of this was going on, I was like jumping around and being a crazy person, and I was so excited. And then I get this notification, right? And on my notification, it says, it's from Instagram. On my notification, it says, Jennifer McGuire, parentheses, Jennifer McGuire Inc. has started following you. And I almost lost my mind. So apparently now Jennifer McGuire is following me on Instagram. Insane. Totally insane. I was like, what even? What is my life right now? I couldn't believe it. And it all happened on the same day. It was like nuts. I couldn't even believe it. I know. And she's probably, you know, because Jennifer is so humble, and she's just like, oh, I'm just a normal person. You know, like you hear her talking in her videos about how she struggles with anxiety, and, you know, she has her social whatever. And it's just, she thinks she's, you know, she doesn't think of herself as like a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like, she's a normal person to her. She's just like living her life, doing her job, making cards and whatever. And we all think of her as like a celebrity, and it's just so funny. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? I am so blown away. It was really cool. It was like the highlight of my year so far. But anyway, so that's been really exciting. So now actually I have to figure out what I'm going to do for my 1,000 subscriber giveaway on Instagram, because because May was actually my 1,000th subscriber. So she's the one who hit 1,000 for me on, and I mean, by subscriber, I mean follower. She was my 1,000th follower on Instagram. And I said that once I hit 1,000, I was going to do a giveaway. And now I'm, I think, like at 1,040 or something like that. Since yesterday or something. I don't know. Anyway, yes, she is big to us. It's so cool. But yeah, so I have to figure out what I'm going to do for my giveaway on Instagram. So if you are not following me on Instagram, you definitely should, so that you can take part in the giveaway that's going to be coming up like this week. All right, so www.instagram.com/acarddayswork. Okay, so there's my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, totally do it, so that you can be entered in the giveaway once that post comes up. And that is our card, you guys. Holy cow. Holy cow. I cannot believe this. What? Wow. Sometimes I amaze myself. And I had your guys' help, which is so awesome. That's why I love these lives, is because you guys are really, really helpful sometimes. When I have crafter's block, I wouldn't have thought to do some of these things, except that I was talking to you guys about it, and then I was like, oh, you know what? And then sometimes you guys give me these awesome suggestions, and I'm like, I never would have thought of that, huh? And it's just such a cool process to see these kinds of cards come together. So there's your close-up of the flowers and the leaves. We've got our splatter over here, and you are so beautiful. And I love our stripes. I cannot wait to photograph this tomorrow and take a photo, and then share it and tag Jennifer and Aram. I'm going to tag them both. And then, you know, see what happens with that. So what I would recommend, you guys, because I know that some of you, oh, thanks, Tracy. I know that you guys, a lot of you guys are aspiring to do YouTube videos and grow your social media following and things like that. What I would really recommend doing is be present on social media, because that is how people get found. That is how your talent will be discovered, is by participating and being a part of the social media community and networks. So if you guys are interested in doing those sorts of things, I would definitely suggest setting up an Instagram if you don't have one already. Some people use Flickr. I don't use Flickr really. I have a Flickr account, but it is like a photo sharing program. I don't really use it, but a lot of people do. Like Lawn Fawn has a Fawny Flickr Friday where they share kind of like their favorite cards from Flickr that people have shared using Lawn Fawn stuff. So there's that. So you can definitely do that. And then I think Instagram honestly is the biggest one for me, for sure. Instagram is like the #1 place that I share my stuff consistently, and you know, people check it out, and it's cool because you can hashtag your work, and if you use the right hashtags, you can get followers, and you can increase your audience by doing those things. Yes, Instagram. Okay, I don't use Snapchat. I definitely don't use Snapchat, but I do use Instagram a lot, and I've been on there for a couple of years now, and I really like it. It's easy to use in my opinion. It was a little overwhelming at first, but then I got the hang of it, and things sort of started to get a little bit easier. So basically when I post something, I post my photo, I work on having an engaging caption, basically, and often it's very useful if you have what they call a call to action. And a call to action is basically when you ask someone to do something from your post. So, for example, today was a blog hop. And so in my post, I would say something like, hey, have you hopped along yet with the Brutus Monroe team? Or be sure to hop along, and then I give them the link, like the link is in my profile. Or, you know, you direct them to do something to continue engaging with you. That way, the interaction doesn't end at them liking your photo. You get to kind of continue that engagement by taking it somewhere else, whether it's an online store or a blog or a YouTube channel. There's all kinds of stuff. So, you know, that's definitely an option for you to use that. The hashtags are very important, because if you don't use the right hashtags, your photos won't get seen. So what I like to do is I tag every photo with my own handle. So every, oh, the cool thing about the blog hops are that, well, like at least for the inspiration team, the inspiration team is not very big. So you only have to like look at a few cards. It's not that much. But I do understand what you mean, because for me, even some of the blog hops, I'm like, there are like 40 people in this, and I'm never going to have time to get through all of these people and leave comments and do all that stuff. So I totally understand that. But yes, so hashtags are really important for Instagram, and social media in general. They're pretty important. So the thing about hashtags is they kind of help people find your work, whereas if you just post a photo and it doesn't have any hashtags, no one can find it, because they don't know what to look for. They don't know what your content is. Using a hashtag basically is just like tagging. It's just like saying, hey, this is what my post is about. Do you know what I mean? Like a hashtag just says, here's the content of what I'm posting. And then it lets people find your content by searching those particular things. Like, so for example, on any given post that I do, I will tag myself, so a card day's work, and that's just my handle. Anybody can use a hashtag. It's not like associated to someone specifically, but certain ones do end up being used for people because they're their username, or it just has something to do with their mission. Like, for example, create your own ending. Anybody can hashtag create your own ending, but yeah, it is the pound sign. That is definitely true. But yeah, so like create your own ending, for example. Anyone can use that hashtag, but Christopher has trademarked the phrase or whatever. So most frequently it gets used in regards to his business. Sometimes it gets used otherwise, and that's fine. But you know, that's that. The other thing is, yes, I always hashtag card making. I hashtag card maker. I hashtag greeting cards. I hashtag handmade cards. I also do the technique that I am using. So if I'm doing heat embossing, I will hashtag heat embossing. If I am doing ink blending, I will tag that. If I do distress oxides, like if I use a particular product, I will hashtag it. That way, if someone is looking for inspiration on how to do work or how to make a project with distress oxides, they will see my project as an example. And that is actually how my card ended up in a Christina Werner video once, because I took a screenshot because I was like, oh my god, that's my card. But yeah, so she was giving tips on how to get inspiration for making cards, and she pulled up a phone screenshot of her like search on Instagram, and it was, she searched hashtag distress oxide, and my card was one of the ones shown on the screen when she was like scrolling through, and I thought that was super cool. But yeah, it was like in her video and everything. It was kind of crazy. But yeah, I don't know. It's just really neat. Hashtags are really useful. They help get your work seen. And you can actually follow particular hashtags, and then you will get them in your feed on Instagram of everything that's tagged with that hashtag. They'll kind of like sporadically put those into your feed so that you can get inspiration, which is really cool. But yeah, if you have questions and whatever, you guys can always ask me questions in here, and let me know, you know, if there are certain things that you want to know about. I'm kind of just like cleaning up my desk and like putting all these cards that we've been working on in the last couple lives out here. Price point. Yeah, price point is actually, I think we've talked about this before in a different video, Trudy, but price point is actually something different than the way people use it for. it is actually having to do with like price ranges for consumer data and all of this stuff. And it, I don't know. It doesn't mean it the way that people use it. But I mean, that kind of happens a lot. Okay, so there's some cards. Let me put away my little pink markers. But yeah, if you guys have questions, always ask. I mean, you guys, it doesn't hurt to just ask the question and see if I know the answer. I might not know the answer. But, you know, a lot of people use it price point for like, they say it's a good price point. Like, I don't know. It just sounds more, like fancy, I guess, than saying price. I don't really know. But anyway. All right, you guys. So that is it. That's all I have for you tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and head off so I can get some work done on my Brutus Monroe projects. And oh, and I also have to finish editing my video that I told you guys about. Oh, Angela, I wish I would totally take you with me. Oh, of course, Dee. I'm happy to help in any way I can. Sometimes it takes me a little while to get back to people. So don't ever feel like I'm not ever trying to neglect you guys if it takes me a while. Yes, Belinda, that is exactly right. So when you click on the hashtag, it takes you to a landing page where all the other, like, it shows you a ton of pictures using that hashtag. Yep. That's exactly how it works. But yeah. I'm just so excited about this card, you guys. I am so excited about this. Holy cow. Okay, anyhow, so that is it for tonight. I have a class on Friday night at Joanne, so I will not be on Friday night probably. And I am going to be, it's getting very close to Creativation, so I'm going to be getting more and more busy as we get towards it, and then of course while I'm gone, I'll be gone, so I won't be live while I'm gone in this capacity. I won't be card making while I'm gone, but I will try to do as many lives as I can, but I will also be recording footage to have for you guys as well. Oh, I teach a class at Joanne. No, Cricut. I teach Cricut classes. Yeah, I teach, this Friday I'm teaching a t-shirt making class for Cricut, but I also teach learn to use your Cricut Explorer, and then like get creative and personalize with your Cricut Explorer or Maker, either one. And then there's another one, some other one. I don't know. I teach all the Cricut classes, whatever Cricut classes they have, then I teach them at my local Joanne. Anyway, yeah, if you guys have certain things that you want to see, Tracy, I haven't even tried them yet, which is kind of scary because I have to teach that class on Friday night, and I have not even gone over them. I've looked, but I haven't really tested them out, but it's kind of a bummer because I just taught a class on like last Friday, not even a week ago, and I taught them all of the stuff in Design Space, and now it changed. And I feel so bad for them because they paid for this class and I had no idea it was going to change. I didn't know that there was anything new coming. And I feel so bad because they went through this class and they paid for it, and then now like the layers panel is completely different, and that's kind of what I reinforced throughout my whole class is like, here's how you use the layers panel and here's all the things in the layers panel. And I don't know, it's just crazy. So anyway, I feel bad for them. But it is what it is. Times are changing. Yeah, I think it's going to take me some time to get used to as well. I should probably work on that tonight as well. But there's not enough hours in the day. Okay, so I will let you guys go. Stay tuned tomorrow for my video from when we made this card. It will be a shortened version of it. And then, yeah, I will post that on my blog as well if you guys want to leave me some comment love. Just a reminder, when you guys do give me a thumbs up or comment after the fact on my videos, so like on my live video, if you leave comments, if you're watching the replay or anything like that, it does help my videos get suggested to other people who are watching YouTube. So if you guys care to give my videos a thumbs up when you watch them, if you like them, of course. Yeah, give them a thumbs up. Make sure you comment, subscribe if you are not already subscribed, and make sure that you hit that little bell notification so that you get, you couldn't get to my blog from Instagram. Oh no. Was there something wrong with it? Was my blog link not working? Hold on. I'm going to test it out on my computer and see if it works for me. Because I have this special link in there. And then, okay, blog. Oh, it says connection is not private. Oh, that's weird. Is that the message you got? It's something to do about my acarddayswork.wordpress.com. Huh. I wonder why it's giving that message. Yeah, mine says, it says privacy error. Your connection is not private. So it's because my thing doesn't have HTTPS, which is the secure thingamajig. But if you click advanced and then you can say proceed to a card day's work anyway. But that's really frustrating that that is happening because that's probably preventing a lot of people from coming to my blog. Huh. All right, well, I'm gonna have to check on that and edit my link. Maybe if I just add the link or the S into it, it will work. So I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I'll look into it. Link wasn't working. Huh. Well, that's a bummer. Okay. Well, it worked for me just now, but I did get that privacy message. But I'm not asking for your credit card information on there or anything, so there's no worry about, you know, like privacy information. It's just WordPress. It's like Blogger. It's just another blogging site. But anyway, okay, so I will look into that. Anyway, hugs and love. Does it say it can't connect, or does it say that it, does it say it can't connect, or does it say... Yeah, see, mine goes to Linktree / a card day's work, and then if I click on blog, oh, well, it worked that time. But if mine came up with a message that said something like, not safe or something like that, hackers might be trying to steal your information or something. It makes you a little alarmed when you read something like that. But you can click at, if that happens, you can click advanced down at the bottom, and then it says, click to proceed to WordPress.com anyway. And that's what I did to get to it, and it works fine. So I'm not sure what the deal is, but hopefully they figure that out, because that stinks for me. Anyway, okay, I will let you guys go. I love you all dearly, and I will see you again really soon. Click on blog from that link tree. Huh. That's weird, because mine works. That's bizarre. Well, if you'd like to get to my blog, you can find it here. Re-verifying phone number. Weird. I don't know, you guys. The internet is a weird place. I don't know. I'll have to try to figure it out and see what's going on, because I am not sure. Oh, well. Okay, well... Hugs and love. I will see you all again really soon. Stay tuned for that video tomorrow. I will chat with you again really soon.